Holy sh! Okay, game's just kicking off here. Portugal, Belgium. I think I'm gonna go with Belgium in this one. I like that KDB's starting. I think he's probably as healthy as he's gonna be. Played really well in the last one. I just like this Belgium side a lot more. Portugal showed some fight in that France game, but I didn't like what I saw from them against Germany or Hungary. So I think I'm gonna go Belgium in this one. If I had to predict, I'm probably gonna say, let's go 3-1 Belgium.
Very false. It's so false.
We'll see how wrong I am after the game, but we'll catch you back in a minute for some more mid-game thoughts. Okay, so 25th minute. Not much has really happened so far. Ronaldo got on the end of a free kick that was pretty decent, had an okay chance. Troubled Thibaut Courtois, had to make a good save. Other than that, and an early chance where Jota had a pretty good opportunity to go in on goal and just scuffed it wide. They haven't really had much. Same with Belgium though, not much happening for Belgium. They're kind of both just feeling each other out, it seems like still. We're almost 30 minutes in the game. Still a lot to go in this one. The Paulinho selection was obviously really weird at the start, and it just seems like it's even weirder because you would think that not being able to have much possession, you would want somebody like Bruno Fernandes, who's also going to give you a lot of energy tracking back. And I just think that makes a lot of sense to put him in the game. So we'll see if that happens. Hopefully it does for Portugal. If not, Belgium may be the stronger team, but not the Belgium we've seen. So we'll see. Halftime coming up next. Hopefully something happens.
A stunning goal from Thorgan Hazard.
Holy sh! What Thorgan Hazard just did was absolutely ridiculous. There's really no way that Belgium should be up right now because that's the only chance they've had in this game. But what he did to curl it in from like 25 yards from that angle was, wow. Hats off to Thorgan Hazard. That was well deserved. And Belgium are up 1-0 now. Well, I'm almost speechless. Jeez Louise. All right, almost halftime, 41st minute. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, halftime. 1-0 Belgium, an absolute screamer from Thorgan Hazard to make the score 1-0. Besides that, not much happened in the first half at all. You saw Ronaldo had a decent free kick opportunity, Thibaut Courtois made a good save on that. Jota had an okay chance earlier in the game, scuffed it wide, but not much happening on either side, and especially from Belgium. Besides what Thorgan Hazard did, the absolute miracle he did, nothing's been going necessarily their way. And I've got the stats in front of me here. It's not necessarily a done deal by any means. So it's 50-50 possession right now. Shots 8-4 in favor of Portugal, both on 5 chances created. I mean, relatively similar stats other than the shots, which mainly came off of counterattacks from Portugal, and not really many of them troubled the keeper for Belgium. So I think, honestly, it's probably still Portugal who's the team that's on the front foot here a little bit. Belgium not able to do much, but if they could do more with their possession, I think they're going to be the ones to win the game, because Portugal just doesn't look deadly at all. They may have a little bit more of the ball, they may be on the break a little bit more, but they're not really doing much with it. I think Bruno needs to come in for Paulinho. That was a weird decision to begin with, and it's just not working out. He just picked up a yellow card too, so you would think probably taking him out, put Bruno in, maybe advance him a little bit further with Moutinho and Sanchez kind of playing in a pivot, with Sanchez being able to go forward. And then, I don't know, you might think of some different substitutions later on, but I think that's the main thing that needs to happen right now. And for Belgium, I think they need to continue to try to progress and get into the game. I think just trying to lock it down would not be necessarily a good idea. I know it's tournament football, and that's probably what's going to happen, but I think there's more goals for them in this game if they can make more chances happen. So I'd like to see that, and if that can happen, I'm going to stick to my 3-1 prediction for Portugal, or for Belgium, but Portugal still probably does have 1 goal in this game.
Very false. It's so false.
Back with the second half in a minute. Update, 60th minute. Kevin De Bruyne went off in the 48th minute. Hopefully it's not too serious. If Belgium progresses, he'll still be able to be in this one. Belgium's still up 1-0. Other than that, not much has happened. They've dropped back into a back five, so they are going to be pretty conservative and try to just hold on to the win, it looks like. Portugal just made a couple changes. They brought out Matinho and Bernardo Silva, brought in João Felix and Bruno Fernandes. Hopefully they can turn this around, because right now it just looks like Belgium's going to sit back and hold on for a win. So see if any Ronaldo magic happens here in the second half. 78th minute here, still not much has happened, still 1-0 Belgium. Pepe getting away with some shenanigans, takes out Thorgan Hazard probably about 7 to 8 seconds after the whistle's blown. Gets a yellow card for it, probably lucky to get away with not having a red card there, but we're still 10 minutes away from the end of this thing, plus some extra time, and still not much has happened. It looks like Belgium's probably going to hang on to this one. We're in the 85th minute right now. Portugal's had a couple really good chances here lately. Rafael Guerreiro, half volley, just hits the bar, so close to going in a couple minutes ago. A couple good headers, Ruben Dias off a corner, right at Thibaut Courtois, but if it goes either way, that's a goal. Portugal looking a lot more lively here. They've had the majority of the possession. Belgium's just pretty much sat back this whole half. We're close. We have a couple minutes left. I think Portugal might be able to get one here. It's right on the edge, right on the edge. Okay, so final in this one, 1-0 Belgium, barely able to hold on to the win to beat Portugal and advance to play Italy in the quarterfinals. A really kind of slow-paced game, to be honest with you. Once Belgium scored their first goal, they kind of just sat back in a back five and did everything they could to defend. Tried not to give Portugal chances. Portugal did have a couple chances late in the game, but it was pretty much all Belgium, and they just kind of made the game dull and boring, if I'm being honest. But they'll go on, they'll progress to face Italy, like I said, and that one is really interesting because I think I might favor Italy in that one. But to close it out, some final thoughts on the game. There's some really interesting stats I want to show you guys here. 57% possession for Portugal. It was 50-50 at halftime, which kind of shows how much Belgium just sat back and defended in the second half. And there's two that really stand out here, and that's 23 shots to Portugal to 6 from Belgium in this game. XG, 0.23 XG for Belgium. They're the ones with the one goal, right? 1.72 for Portugal, which just shows that those two really good chances at the end where Guerreiro hits the post and you have Diaz just barely hitting the gloves of Thibaut Courtois on that great header. Just slightly to either side, that's probably a goal, and Portugal are going to progress because of the way that they were attacking at the end of the game. Belgium just wasn't doing enough, and Eden Hazard is now going to be out or left the game. We'll see if he's out further, and Kevin De Bruyne obviously leaving. So a couple really crucial injuries to Belgium, who has been a pretty injured side throughout this tournament, and that leads me to the quarterfinals. And you know what? I think I'm going to back Italy in that one. Italy didn't look their best against Austria, but was still able to pull it out, and I think that Italy is just solid enough defensively, and they have the offensive spark that you need to progress. And not to say Belgium doesn't have those things, but I think or I should say Italy is better defensively, and I think if they're going to be healthy, with Belgium possibly going to be missing De Bruyne and Eden Hazard, depending on how bad those injuries are, I think Italy is just going to be the favorites in this one. They've kind of been the favorites throughout this group stage ever since they went on through those first 3 games, won all 3, didn't give up a single goal. And so I just think, I don't know, I think they're the ones to advance, but we'll see. We still have a couple games to go in the first round here in the knockout series on Monday and Tuesday, and we'll find out who the final brackets are. But so far, good win today for Belgium, and I think that, it's going to be interesting to see. But good win here today for Belgium, knocking Portugal out. There will not be a repeat champion, and it's going to be, up to the other teams to progress and see who's going to win this one. Still some really heavy hitters in the tournament, but a couple dark horses now I think have a little bit more of a realistic chance to pull this one out with some injuries and some things not going the way of some of the bigger nations. So we'll see. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. Any kind of feedback is appreciated. So that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching. Peace.